Hey, it is 7 o'clock straight up. I am Dave Globin. You are not. This is Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live over here on the Dave Globin profile on Facebook and the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel somewhere over there. And we got to hang on, wait a minute. It's taking a little bit longer to get over to where we want it today. There it is. Sometimes StreamYard and Facebook just take a little bit longer to sync. Let me turn this volume down so it doesn't get in the way. And give me just a minute here. And no. There it is. We're live on the Dave Globin profile. The Dave Globin chat room is open. And if you go over to the YouTube channel, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube chat room is open as well. So come over and say hello, hello, hello. The dogs in Studio B say hello. They're mad at me because I walked into the studio to go live a few minutes ago, and they had a yarn ball, and they were having fun with it. And I know that their mom, our daughter-in-law, was going to be angry with them when she gets home. They didn't ruin it. They just kind of ripped open the package, and yarn was flying all over the living room floor. Good evening to William Grant, who is watching, and everybody else as they tune in here. As usual, it's open discussions tonight. I didn't pay much attention to the news today. I really don't anymore because there really isn't any reason to pay attention to it. It's like I said last night on the American Rebellion. What have the Republicans done since they got back the House other than remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, put in Mike Johnson, and not really seem to do anything else? They talked this great game. We're going to pass this bill, and we're going to send it to the Senate, and hopefully they're going to pass it. And if they don't, we're going to stand our ground, and we're going to negotiate, and we're going to get what we want. And by the end of the day, like we said last night, 5,000 people a day will still be allowed to come here. The borders will be just like they are now. And just a mess. Just a mess. Just a mess. You know, regurgitation as we used to call it in the early days of Boogie with the Bull. So sometimes you just have to sit back and read some groups and post in some groups and leave Facebook and go other places. I didn't do that today. I spent most of my online time on Facebook, and I read my groups and our groups and their groups and her groups and my groups, and everybody's groups these days are mishmashed in with everybody else. We did invite Beth McCord to join us tonight. We invited Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, to join us tonight. Jerry Michaels, the host of the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday over on Rumble, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is shared here over on Facebook, so you are able to watch it if you must. Make sure Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all 5 days of the week. Make sure if you get a chance, you go to the Bill Muckler profile, Bill Muckler, Muckler, and watch the Bill Muckler show at 11 p.m. or go into the Bill Muckler show group and watch the Bill Muckler show. You will learn more stuff in probably 1 hour of watching the Bill Muckler show than you will just about anywhere else on Facebook, including Boogie with the Bull. But I will tell you this, if you're watching Boogie with the Bull, these are Bill's two books, 2020, A Clear Vision for America, and 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future. They're the blue book and the green book. Bill wrote them, I think, back in 2015, and everything in these books is still true today and should be happening today, including probably closing the Department of Education on the federal level and giving control back to the states, as well as probably very close to shutting down the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, and just, wiping out the taxes that we shouldn't be paying, and making sure any that we are paying are as low as they can go. Callan McMillan is here in the Boogie with the Bull live chat of the Dave Logan profile. And if you're looking for an ambulance or you need a guy to fix your boat, I don't know what his rates are to come to you and fix your boat or fix your ambulance, but get a hold of Callan McMillan, and he will do his best to help you out. And so I'm kind of sitting here. We'll wait. We'll see if Jen comes and joins us. We'll see if Beth comes and joins us. We'll see if Jerry comes and joins us. And we will see if if they do. And if they don't, we'll just kind of have a open discussion broadcast with anyone who is watching in the live chat. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. I did watch some things on Texas Today, and I'm still not quite sure who on Facebook said that they were going to go to Texas, how close to the border they actually got. I'm not saying that they didn't get to the border. I'm just not aware of how close to the actual border that they did get. Terry Stark, the chief admin of my groups, is down in Yuma, Arizona. And that's a border city, just like Texas has the border going right through it. Yuma is, I believe, right on the border. And so she gets to see it every single day. And Jen, the homeschooling mom, is teaching. We got to shut down the border yesterday. And the Facebook members of the United States of America who proudly have dementia, that's a group that I think I'm going to start. We had a meeting in private. We didn't hold it on Facebook, and we voted by a 2-to-1 majority that we want to recall Joe Biden's dementia. In other words, we have decided that he is no longer worthy of being our poster child. He is no longer worthy of being president. So we want to take his dementia away from him.
That would be great. Don't you wish you could see?
And unfortunately, this will sound really bad. I want to take it away from him and give it to a more deserving American citizen that needs dementia. Jerry Michaels will be with us in a few minutes. And I might have jumped the gun. I was looking at the clock. Some nights I sit here at 6:55 and I say a prayer, and then I look around and I go, you know what? We might as well just go on, because by the time everybody gets here, it'll be 7 o'clock and everybody's watching and we're all set and ready to go. Let me take this up from Alan. Ben Bergwam has been down to the actual border a dozen times or more. Check out his Faker Book page. Okay, Ben Bergam, Bergquam. Ben Bergam has been down there. Okay, I appreciate that, Alan. And I'm not belittling anybody. I know Soup Mama Charisse Moser headed down. I know that William Rayfield was heading down. I know there were 7,000 trucks that were heading down, and I'm sure there was someone doing live streams with the trucks. And I don't know how close people actually got to the border, and they're more than welcome to come on Thursday night or come on tonight if they see me and talk about what they did, how close they got, what they did when they were there. Like I said, I'm not belittling anybody. I just, off the top of my head, don't know anyone who actually did get down there. And then, like I said, Terry Stark, our chief admin of the Boogie with the Bull groups, lives either in Yuma or just outside of Yuma. So she's there every single day.
Oh, wow.
And maybe we can reach out to Ben and see if he wants to come on Thursday night and give us a
Who?
update. Ben
Oh,
Burgum.
them.
Ben.
Okay.
Ben.
Good.
I don't know I don't know the person, but today I spent very little time on Facebook today because I had a lot of stuff I had to get done, and I had to get it all done, or else I just couldn't have taken my nap. Couldn't have taken my nap, which I didn't take today anyway. So I'm a little hyped up. But what do you got, Jen?
Hold on. I'm trying. I take notes and then I put them on Word, and when I paste them into the chat, it gets rid of all of my spacing, and it's a mess. So I wanted to. It's a disaster. So I'm trying to put spaces in it before I share it. But I wanted to start out talking about what Bill Muckler talked about today, which was hi, Robin. He was talking about the invaders, and he was talking about how much money we are paying to have this happen. It's not sustainable. That's exactly what Trump says. And then,
not.
Leading into that is Viktor Orban, who is the prime minister of Hungary, and he gets on national television on his side of the world, and he sees what's happening, and he says that the only man on earth who can stop all these wars right now is Donald Trump. And then I hear what Donald Trump is going through with the Supreme Court. They're not upholding the Constitution. It's driving me nuts how they're interpreting things. And I don't know. I'm like, do I have to come down there and teach you this already? Because I don't interpret it like they do. It's crazy. So, anyways,
we're gonna have to call John
go
Roberts.
ahead. What did they
get you over
what
there
did they
and have
claim
you homeschool the justices on the Constitution?
Oh my God! Seriously, I don't like the way they're interpreting things. It's frustrating, especially this Third Amendment now. And I was reading in Bill Muckler's book, and the chapter on the Third Amendment, which is about. Hold on, I'm not there in the notes yet because there's no spaces. It drives me crazy. It's great when I do it, but when I share it, it's like Chinese. Okay, hold on.
All right.
Okay,
so one more time, and if anybody wants to see Ben's post, go to Callum McMillan's page and look around. But it's Ben. Let me see if I can get it up here one more time.
Burgum.
Ben Burgum. BERGQUAM. Ben Burgum. And go to Ben's page and read up. And I will actually do that. Like I said, I'm not taking a shot at anybody who said they were going to go down there. I just, in my own dementia stupor the last couple of days, didn't sit and watch anyone who was there. I just knew that people were going. So it would be better for me if those people who are either still there come on Thursday night and share with us what is going on, or if you're not still there, come on Thursday night and tell us firsthand what happened down there. Like I said at the beginning, I've been spending more time trying to figure out how America, if they wanted to, could take President Biden's dementia away from him and just prosecute him once and for all, because that dementia, or what little or whatever he has, may be able to get him not ever prosecuted. And this is a man that has so many charges against him. He just needs to be prosecuted and let away.
Oh, what a mess.
Well, just go ahead and
okay.
Just go ahead and go through it.
So okay, it was really interesting watching Bill Muckler today, and he was calling them invaders. He was not calling them illegal immigrants, and he wasn't calling them migrants, which is what the news calls them. migrants. Like, this is
Hmm.
just what they do. They migrate. They move from country to country. And that is not normal. That has never happened in American history. It just doesn't. The only time this has happened has been like after Noah's Ark, when the people spread out and they, what did they do? They all came together and made the Tower of Babel, and then God didn't like that, so he separated them all, and he actually migrated them, and he put them in other different countries. And now all of the sudden, what Biden thinks it's a good idea, well, it's actually the globalists, and they think it's a good idea to cripple the United States. And the reason, or the, I don't know why they're doing it. I can only imagine, but it's nefarious. But the way that they're doing it is by opening all the borders. And just like Trump said in the beginning, a country that doesn't have borders is not a country. And he's right, because you
Right.
have all these people here. They're draining our finances, and they're trying to change everything. They're changing our culture. Nobody is respecting our history. They're taking down the statues. And now I forget how many languages are being taught in high school. But yeah, Bill Muckler talked about it today. Why don't we just focus on like the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic? These people can't even, these poor kids I'm talking about now, the students, they're having enough trouble reading and writing and doing math, and they're being forced to learn Swahili and other languages. It's ridiculous.
Right.
So that is
It,
frustrating. But
it
then,
it
go
used to
ahead.
be
What were you
you.
gonna?
It used to be you came to America and you had to learn English. I
Yeah,
mean, and
assimilate.
the teachers and the school administrators would try to be able to communicate with you in your native language as much as they could. But this is
Right.
America, and we don't speak Not everybody speaks Swahili. Not
No,
everybody.
nobody. Right.
And I'm not being rude, but if you're going to come here and drink the water, you might as well learn the language. And
Yeah. You
on
have to
that note,
speak Russian if you go to Russia. You have to speak Chinese if you go to China. So I think if you come to America, you should speak English.
right.
It's common sense. Hi, Jerry.
And if you go to Rumble Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m., you have to speak the American Rebellion. And this man here, Jerry Michaels, is the host. Glad to have you here
Yeah.
tonight, Jerry.
Well, I wanted to host, Dave. There's usually other people there. I noticed Jen was on time tonight. I don't understand why that is. She's never on time to our show, but we're going to do a study and find out why. All
I
good.
because
No, I'm only kidding.
I write
Um,
her books about being on time more than I write you 27 volume books on something stupid in Messenger.
I get a lot of reminders, I'll tell you.
I write
okay.
Jen 27 paragraphs on please be here on time so I don't look stupid.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, that I can't do that, Dave. I have a 3 text limit, and as you notice, most of my texts are like 1 or 2 words. That's all I can do.
Or that
It's
whale
just the way it
icon, which
is.
makes me, Jerry sends me this whale icon, and it's really cute. But then I start wondering: is it a mad whale, or is it a happy whale, or is it just a whale? You know,
That's
Yeah, you
funny.
spend too much time alone, Dave. You really need to get
I
out there and
do,
find
I
somebody
do,
to hang out with.
I
Yeah.
do,
That's what
I
they're thinking
do.
about. Maybe we got some problems. I don't know.
Well, they're thinking about
But
busing me to the
no, I
to the
changed the
to
theme. You
the.
changed the theme of the chat, and instead of a thumbs up, it comes up something else.
Oh,
One
okay,
of them
all
on
right,
there is a spider, another group, that kind of thing. So, and
yeah,
this one happens to be a whale. You just pick a color, and then for some reason they give you a whale, which is nice. And I guess I don't know if you can get a whale, it's nice. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Anyway, what
cute.
are y'all talking about?
We were going over Bill Muckler's show today, and he was talking about the immigration, but he was calling them the invaders, which I absolutely loved. Instead of calling them migrants, like the news is calling them, as if they're birds or something, like they just migrate. No, they're people. They're invaders. They're not supposed to be here. They're not migrants. They're not migrating. They're being forced. Well, actually, they're being invited to come here by the biggest traitor I've ever seen in my life. And I can't believe that he is in the White House. That's terrifying. And I can't believe that people aren't even talking about how we can undo this. I think that is our biggest crisis, is that we have a treasonous traitor in the White House, and that nobody seems to talk about it because it's a hush. Like we're gonna get arrested or something. We're not in Russia. We're not in China. I think we're allowed to say that, aren't we? First Amendment. It is what it is. But yeah, I tried to post notes. But I'm telling you, Jerry, I can't stand this program. It's all beautiful when I set it up. Then when I paste it in the chat, there's no spaces. It's crazy. I'm like, this
Yeah,
is bad. I have to go
yeah,
back to what I was. Go ahead.
I
What?
know. Yeah, I think it has a text limit, and they don't believe in indenting paragraphs or like having a list or anything like that. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah.
um, I did see where some guy, I think it was Rhode Island, he said something mean on Facebook, and they actually came and arrested him.
Oh my gosh.
I
What
mean,
did he say?
it wasn't like he threatened to kill anybody or anything. Just said he hated somebody or something, and they came and arrested him. He is now suing them for doing that, but because that's highly illegal. But
Yeah.
you know,
Wow. Because the First Amendment allows us to
so
hate.
and it's
It
happening
really
in
does.
England. It, it's it's happening in England. They will send police to your door if you say something mean on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
my gosh.
They can arrest you if you continue
Yeah.
and go to court, and they will find you guilty, and you'll pay a fine or go to jail or do whatever. Okay, and
Wow.
this is happening in England. It hasn't started here yet, but we don't have all these constitutional sheriffs we have. There ain't enough of them, and police chiefs are usually of the same opinion as the mayor, because that's who usually, the city councils and whatnot. They appoint him normally. It's not like where Nick lives; they elect him. Okay, but I personally, until Nick told me that, I never heard of a police chief being elected, but they do in some places.
Hmm.
We don't have enough of these constitutional sheriffs, and the police have they have training to lie and to get fine crimes. That's what they have training to do, and it shows on every video I watch. They they tell you your buddy. No, no, none of your buddies that you have in real life are going to ask to search your car or your house. Nobody. I don't care if you think you have nothing to hide. It's illegal, and they're breaking the law. And the sad part is that chances are you give them permission. Uh, it's not going to matter in court whether they had the right to do it or not. But regardless, it is an invasion, and the more we say about it, the more the government gets pissed off, because we are telling the truth. It's an invasion. There's no way. It is a self-induced invasion. Okay, we could stop it literally today. Okay, you put some National Guard on the border to help the Border Patrol, and I don't mean help the Border Patrol do paperwork. I mean shoot people. Okay, and then you
Stop
close the border.
them.
It's that simple. That is all he has to do, and he has the power to do it. He has the power to do it. This bill coming up, the more I hear about it, the less good it is. There is nothing good in it about the border, or, well, for that matter, anything else other than billions of dollars going out of the country. Now, I don't mind helping out Israel if they need it, because Israel is a peaceful country, has given much to the world since its been inception in 47, I think.
Right.
Okay. The Middle East in general, the Muslim Middle East has never given the world anything but problems. So, um, you know, yeah, invasion, absolutely. Him being a traitor by doing it and allowing it to happen, continue to happen, absolutely. Mayorkas, definitely a traitor. He's a yes man. He would be like if Trump was actually Hitler. Mayorkas would be like Goring or somebody like that. Okay, because he's just going along, right? It's that simple. They called Trump a Nazi and they call him like Hitler and all this stuff throughout his entire presidency and before and now after. And again, but this man, the potato head in office, although he's not making that many decisions, I don't think the people behind him are, and they're using him to do it. And Mayorkas is just going along with it. And
Wow.
not good. It's not good.
You don't think the
Because look what happens to
Republicans?
us. We pay. That's all we do. Get nothing out of it. We just pay. Higher taxes, higher everything. Everything is higher because we have to pay. Sucks.
Yeah, even New York knows. They're saying maybe we shouldn't be a sanctuary city because we can't. Or what is it? Hi, Larry Burns. Is it New York, New York, New York City, New York? They're like, we can't handle this. Even Manhattan is saying that. What is his name? Adams. Who is he the mayor of? Which I don't know
New
which
York,
city it is,
New
but it's in
York,
New York, and
New
he's the
York.
mayor, and he says we can't handle this anymore.
Right.
Like the house is on fire, and he's begging for help from Biden. And I'm like, you can do this yourself. Say no. You can even send a plane of these people away, but he says he can't. Oh wow, what is? Thank you, sir.
Well,
Appreciate it. My
does
notes. It
anybody
says
think that?
I don't
Does
have my
anybody?
glasses on.
Does anybody think
I
Mayorkas
also
is
don't
actually going to
believe
be
that.
removed?
I don't think that Adams. I don't think that Adams. I don't think New York City can't handle this. They can handle it fine. I don't think Adams is. He's able to do it. They just want federal dollars to do it instead of New York City or New York State dollars to do it. Okay, he wants all of us to pay for New York, and here's the problem with that. He's the one who said we're a sanctuary city, along with whatever that idiot was the last time, Bozo the clown. Okay, you know what? You want to be a sanctuary city? You pay. It's simple as that. You pay. Why should someone from Florida or Idaho or anywhere in this country pay for something that New York City decided to do, or California, or any of these other cities that say they're sanctuary cities? Why? We should, but because it's the federal government and these are their policies, let's overrun the country with a bunch of people that don't give a damn about us and don't care about our values or anything. They're just going to do what they want, and if you don't like it, they will scream louder until they get what they want, and we end up paying. Okay, it is exceedingly not only unfair. My guess, 90% of it is illegal because the way we have laws and we have immigration laws since 200 years worth of immigration laws. Okay, and you can't just walk in. There is this, you come, you get vetted, you have paperwork with you to prove who you are, all these things. These people have none of that. None of it.
Right.
And I've lived amongst illegal aliens. Believe me, once they're here, they're here. There's only one way to get them out once they get here, and that's to cut all the benefits, and the government will not do that.
Wow.
Does anybody think
on
Mayorkas is actually going to get removed? I'm sorry, Jim, but does anybody actually think Mayorkas is actually going to get removed? I thought maybe he would, just to be Biden's fall guy. But Jerry, do you actually think he'll get removed? And like I've said before, even if he does get removed, is his number two that will end up taking over just as bad as he is?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's 3 years too late. Yeah. Okay. The Republicans should have been doing this in year one. All right. They're doing it in an election year to look tough. Who knows? And he still has to get, convicted by the Senate also. And that's a crapshoot. Okay, at best, they have the tiebreaker. Um, so, in my estimation, all of this is too late. It should have been done in the first 6 months, probably. It should have been this the minute he started letting them in. We should have done something. We did not. We let it go on for 3 long years, and now, just now, they're saying, "Well, we're going to impeach him." It's almost like watching TV and somebody's reading from a script as an actor, and this story is just developed into, well, now it's an election year. Now we got to get tough. So I have no idea, and I don't think it's going to matter because whoever's next is just going to do the same damn thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen?
That's frustrating. I don't know. It feels like we're playing a losing game. I don't know what we can do, but I did get the specifics on what they did with Trump. They said, let's see, the U.S. Court of Appeals, this is the Supreme Court now, the U.S. Supreme Court of Appeals has rejected Donald Trump's claim of presidential immunity in his federal election interference case. So they rejected it. That means he can't get protection. He can't, for even going place to place to do his speeches, which he should have protection. Oh, Nikki Haley, she wants more protection too, because I guess she's getting threats now. And I'm like, why don't you just drop out? Because she's trying to take votes from Trump.
Right.
And now she can't get more protection. He can't get any protection. And neither can, what's the guy? He's running independent, RFK. He cannot get protection. I'm like, who are these idiots in Washington that are rewriting all the rules and denying? It's like so bad. I can't believe everything is stacked against us. It sucks.
Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense to me how the Supreme Court can weigh in on who gets Secret Service protection and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Because there's not a constitutional amendment or that thou shalt get thou shalt get Secret Service protection, and this is why, and 900,000 pages that explain why, plus how much money they gave to Ukraine and to some other bad country. But I mean, it's taken my core value as an American, understanding that the Supreme Court was created to be the legal police, making sure that Americans' rights are protected in the Constitution, and that if you do something that violates a law that's in the Constitution, you at least get your fair share, your fair day in court to explain what you did before you probably get a bullet put in the back of your head. But
the Supreme Court should have the power to be able to arrest the president for not following the laws. They should have the power to arrest governors, any politician, any judge, pretty much, if they make a decision and you are trying to do an end round around it, they should be allowed to arrest the governor of that state for doing it. All right. Shouldn't
the attorney general
that governor should be tried by the Supreme Court?
Shouldn't the attorney
general's in the back pocket of any president, usually, except Trump. Whoever appoints him, he's in the back. He's in the back pocket of that. No, the Supreme Court should have the actual power to do that, because the attorney generals, all they're doing when they lose is trying to come up with something different that they can throw against the wall until they find something that works, and the Supreme Court will be okay with. Look at our guns, all the gun decisions that the Supreme Court has made, telling like Washington D.C. or these states, you can't do this, and then they turn around and do it anyway, or they just change it slightly and do it that way. The problem is, I don't know if they do or not, to be very truthful, but I think I'm gonna look that up for tomorrow night because I'd like to know because that's what needs
Yeah.
to happen, and they need to be, none of this crap being tried in the D.C. Circuit Court or anything. I mean, you get tried by the Supreme Court, the same ones who told you the constitutional ality of whatever law is or lack thereof, and you're still doing it. They should be tried right there, in that court. None of this crap, shopping or any of this other stuff. As a matter of fact, all that should be illegal
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Wherever something
When they-
Right.
happens, should be where you have to file it, whether it's federal or it's state, whatever. You have to file it there instead of running around the state trying to find some place to do it.
Right.
You have to file it in the city or the town or the closest one possible to where you're at. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah.
But they don't do that either.
Yeah. It's just getting crazy, and I'm getting more and more and more and more and more confused every day listening to it. There were times I thought a convention of states would be the right thing to do. The only problem is that you can't have a convention of states with this House and this Senate being the people that represent us in it.
Yeah, you can. You can. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with DC. You have to get the 2/3 majority of states, and those are the ones who have to be. That is the convention of states, and those
Okay, now
are
is it the governors of those states go? The
No,
governors
it's
of
just
those
who-
states go to the convention. Who represent, like
Probably
Jerry and
a
I are
senator.
here. Jerry and I are here in Florida.
It's probably
Can-
your
can-
senators that would go.
Right. Well, that's my point. Is just that if you have a state with a corrupt senator or several corrupt members of the House of Representatives, aren't you kind of screwed? As opposed to, unfortunately, like I keep saying, we don't have enough time to really do a convention of states the way I see it, because we don't have enough time to elect and find a new uncorrupted House and Senate to draw the people that we send.
We
to
are the
figure this
people who
out.
are. No, we are the people who are doing it. I've been in this since 2014 when
Okay.
when we finally got rid of Barack. When his they started it during his term, and then I got involved in 14. And now that I understand it more, it has nothing to do with Washington. All we have to do is get a court date, and that's when the 2/3 majority of the states, the good states, go in and say, this is our court date. We're doing this according to the Constitution. But who knows now that the Supreme Court of the United States is like changing the rules. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
They're calling it the new norm. It's not the new norm. I would love the new norm to be the Convention of States, but it almost seems impossible. How do you find 2/3 of the 50 states, and then they're the ones that go in, mow down everything, and say, this is how we're going to do things? And it's crazy. And those are the people who have to represent and take over the government duties that are being done poorly, such as opening the borders. This is ridiculous. Overtaxation. I mean, the same dollar gets taxed, 20 times? It doesn't even make sense.
Right.
So I'll stop complaining. Pardon
No,
me.
go ahead.
It was frustrating.
You're not complaining. It's very frustrating. It's so frustrating that's why I don't pay attention to news, because it's the same sad, unfortunate news every day, because we don't have real journalists reporting real news. We have, Trump calls them fake news, but we got CNN and we've got all these others that we think are reporting what we want to hear, and
They're propaganda outlets.
it is, and it's just getting to I'm watching my country get flushed down the toilet in my 62nd year. And in my 62nd year, I never thought that's where we would be. I mean, when I started my limo business, I was 25. When I got rid of it, I was just over 50, I think. And I had planned on retiring at 50 and living a great life off of everything that I had done. And now at 62, I'm here with my friends, trying to educate people, and I just never thought it would be where we are. And even the good legislators, there are people. Go ahead, Jerry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
Even the good legislators, I can name names of people that I think are great people and are somewhat effective, but when you look at their records, they're really not. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is spending so much time trash talking Ilhan Omar and Rashida Towelhead and all of these other people every day. I start wondering, is she doing anything for the people that she represents other than trash talking all the bad people in the House?
Wow.
No,
sorry,
not.
sorry for the rant,
I
but
think the problem
yeah.
with the Convention of States. I think the problem with the Convention of States is these, whoever the representatives are, whether it's we the people or whoever, there is going to end up being shenanigans and everything else, and people will get paid off, and we'll end up with the same bunch in the Convention of States that we currently have in Washington, D.C. And I don't want my Second Amendment rights, my First Amendment rights, and for that matter, any damn right that I have in being held in someone else's hand other than mine.
Right.
So I have always been against it because I just don't trust the process in the government, no matter what they do, or no matter what is done, is corrupted,
Right.
and the process is broken. And I don't trust anyone with my rights, because the first thing they are going to do is come after the Second Amendment, and you get enough paid off people, we'll lose it. It's that simple. That's there for a reason. It's in the spot for a reason, and it needs to stay there in perpetuity. We have, I got news for everybody. We have lost our republic that Franklin gave us. He said, "We gave you a republic if you can keep it." We have lost it. It's gone. We have allowed corrupted individuals of all types in and out of the government to take it from us. If we want it back, it's going to take a lot more than a convention of states, I believe. It's going to take blood and death, because I'm sorry, we waited too long. We waited way too long. All of us, everything where everybody was going along in this, and all of a sudden Barack Obama showed up and completely turned the country upside down.
Yep.
Trump righted the country a little bit. Okay. And then Joe Biden stole the election, and he's doing his bit to ruin us. And what he's doing is working better, actually, than what Barack Obama did. Let's face it. I mean, letting millions of people into the country. Every conservative news outlet is saying that this bill is horrible. And there are still people out there that say they're conservative that are okay with it because they don't pay attention. They don't actually look into it. They don't do any of that. They just let the politicians, well, they're our representative. No, they're not. They don't represent us. They represent themselves. I don't care who you send to Washington, D.C. They go there. They have all the They're chomping at the bit and everything else. But in the end, they end up doing for themselves. That's why they go in with $7 in their pocket and come out with 12 million. Okay, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's despicable. It's horrible. But it's also our own fault because we quit paying attention many, many generations ago. And unfortunately, there ain't too many ways to get it back other than fighting for it. And I got to tell you, judging by the excuses that I hear why people can't do this or people can't do that, my guess is we're going to have a hard time doing that. I mean, I keep saying this, nobody listens ever, but in order for us to have any kind of fight with the government, we have to have our own government. We have to have our own standing army. We have to have a hierarchy. We have to have all this stuff. We cannot just go and say we're going to go fight the government now. Okay, we can't. That's why January 6th was such a mess because it was just a mob. And look who they let. Look at that mob and look at who they let be in charge. The FBI for talking them into going into. It was all a setup and it was like a play. Okay, and here we are. We got political prisoners now. Everybody knows it, even the politicians. Some of them are actually finally coming out and calling them that. But in the end, that's what they've been since day one. And then we got the other half screaming about how it's the worst day since 9/11, and they try to take over the country. And they didn't do any of that. They were just a mob that allowed somebody from the FBI to talk them into going inside.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying all of them did. I'm not saying all of them did, but I did. But enough, more than enough. Okay. So there you go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
Well, to talk about more humanity, this is good. Something, a good person, but a sad story because he passed away. Toby Keith, the country singer, he passed away. He had cancer.
Very sad.
He died of stomach cancer this morning.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Of all people, doesn't
very
it feel
sad.
better though to talk? Go ahead.
I knew something was wrong with him because the last time he was out, he was singing or whatever, he looked nothing like Toby Keith. He looked like a skeleton. And, most people who get past cancer, they gain weight again and, all that. And he didn't look nothing like he used to. So I knew something was up. I don't know. Sad.
So sad. I always think,
sad.
This is probably superstitious, but they always go in threes, I've noticed. Toby Keith went today. So did the actor that played Apollo Creed in...
Oh, Carl Weathers.
Oh, yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Too. I don't know how he went, but I heard about that too. So sad. So I'm just looking for the third one. I know that King Charles, and
he's got cancer too.
Yeah, he didn't die. He just got cancer. But so sad.
Well,
him I don't mind so much. I don't like him at all.
I kind of laughed when I heard that Charles has cancer because the sad thing is, the odd thing is that if he dies, William becomes the King of England and everything England might own, but he really has no authority. And I wonder whether or not if Charles dies and William becomes king, is there enough support in the House of Parliament, the House of Lords, or whatever houses they have that make up the British government to finally just shut it off?
Shut what
no
up?
No more monarchy.
It's a history thing for them.
Yeah,
but that's a history thing for them. That is a big thing over here. It's easy to say stuff like that, but over there, that is big. I mean, I know there's people that don't like the monarchy, and they think they spend too much money on them, but it's still the pageantry, the glamour, all that crap. That's important to the whole country. I doubt if they will get rid of it. They keep going the way they're going over there, though. It may not matter one way or the
Right.
other. Prince Charles was a leftist piece of shit. And I said was because I hope I don't care if people like that die, because what they do is they put the yoke of tyranny upon everybody in the country. Okay, even King Charles, who has, as they said, he has no actual power, but his words are powerful and what he says is powerful. Okay, and to me, he drops dead. I actually don't care. Okay, because his words are heard throughout the world. And for some people, and it's mostly women, but in this country, they hang on every word from the royal family for some reason. I don't know why. Um,
Well, because we don't have
I don't
Camelot.
have any use
We
for
don't.
that. I figure we fought a war
Well,
with them to get rid of them. Why the hell would I care what they think now? But apparently, I'm in
we
the minority. I don't friggin'
well
know.
we don't have Camelot anymore, which a lot of people think the Kennedy family, John F. Kennedy, was probably as to modern day king that we might that we might have had, in the sense of the family and the mystique behind Camelot. But I don't know. I don't know. I still come back to
All
the
right,
same point.
you know what? They weren't royalty. I know they wanted to call it Camelot and all that crap, but they acted like royalty. Everybody was
Right,
sleeping with everybody else.
right.
They started their whole deal by, running moonshine. I mean, that's how the
Yeah,
Kennedys got started during the Prohibition, Joe Kennedy and all that. So they acted like it, but they were not. That was the press trying to make them into American royalty. And
yeah.
when you drive off a bridge and kill a woman and then go home and then don't and nothing ever happens to you, that sounds just like the royal family. To be truthful, it does. But in America, that Ted Kennedy should have went to prison.
Yep.
But when you're the Kennedys, you get away with that a lot of time. Now they did have one guy. He killed that girl, and he went to prison because he killed her when he was young and killed a
Oh
15-year-old
yeah,
girl, and then he went to prison.
yeah.
I don't remember his.
He was by marriage. Uh, one of the Kennedys married. Someone married a Kennedy, his mother. I can see the guy's face. I can't think of his name. Hit her with a golf club. Killed her with a golf club. Yeah. Killed her. But yeah. But then again, we don't want to have royalty here anyway, because we have presidents who think they're royal, anyway. That's about the only reason why I can imagine that Joe Biden is holding on to the job, because he might not, when he's removed, his next job isn't going to be anywhere as nice as the job that he has now. But
Can they put him in prison? Or Gitmo, or is he too, like, we were talking about this with Trump. Remember, we said they couldn't put him in prison because you'd have to clear out a whole floor. Well, he was president at the time. This was during his first impeachment that, like, it was for nothing. We said they couldn't even put him in prison anyways, because you'd have to clear out a whole floor. And would they have to do that for Biden as well?
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Biden's whole Secret Service team goes with him, and you're right. He ends up. I'm sorry, but he ends up having to be in his own wing, separate from. He can't have anybody in his wing. But the sad thing is, though, and I don't want to say this, but I don't think he deserves the rest of his life in prison, pay back. I think he needs a more,
You got a better way to.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. They're going to come knock on my door, I'm sure. But you put a rope around his neck, and you spank Hillary Clinton on the ass. And when she starts running, the rope is going to do its job.
Oh, you did not say
that. Well, I don't want to say it, but you know what?
We got it.
I never was one who supported capital punishment, but now that I look at it in my elder years, I don't want my tax dollar. I don't pay taxes anymore because all I make is Social Security, and it's not taxed yet. I'm sure Biden will change that next week, but I don't believe that if you're going to send someone to prison for all these years, take away all these rights that they have, if they did something that bad, send them to God and let him take care of it. Send them to Lucifer and let him take care of it.
Wow.
But I mean,
that was funny what you said, though. You were never for capital punishment.
I was never for capital. I was never for capital punishment because I always equated it to if I did the same thing that somebody else did, regardless of knowing they were going to strap me down into a chair and shove a needle in my arm, I'm afraid of dying. Period. Only because I don't know where I'm gonna end up when I die, because I don't know what's there. I don't know anyone who's actually left and come back and live to talk about it. I strangled on the umbilical cord at birth, 5 minutes without breathing. When they got me out, they revived me. But the last thing I remember is hearing God say to me, being in this tunnel and saw the light and heard the voice of God say, "No, David, my son, it's not time. Turn around and get back." And here I am. But I don't. Putting people in prison, to me, for any period of time really doesn't do anything. If a person is worthy of being rehabilitated, figure out a way to get them rehabilitated. Maybe they got to live in a place that they don't have. They got to live in a prison at night or something. I don't know, but we send all these people to prison for life. The marathon bomber is still on death row in Terre Haute, Indiana. And he will probably be there forever, because after he's exhausted all of his appeals, they're just going to convert it to life in prison. Who's paying for him to be there?
Wow. They started that new chant in New York. They're saying cheaper to deport than to support, because they're sick of it too. We're all being taxed up the wazoo.
Right.
And these people, these invaders, I won't even call them migrants, the invaders, the only thing they're skilled in, which is terrifying, is, this is according to Bill Muckler, it was a good show today, he says the only thing they're skilled in is shoplifting, carjacking, and pocket picking. And I was like, that's bad. That's all they're here to do.
Selling drugs and
take stuff.
Human trafficking and everything else.
So if they want to put them in prison, that would be good. I mean, if we have to feed, clothe, and house them, at least they're not taking stuff from us besides our tax dollars. Put them in prison.
But why can't we? If Jerry committed a crime when he came from Canada, and he was here illegally. Why can't we just say
Go back.
he murdered somebody? Why can't we just say to Justine, we're gonna extradite him to you, and you put him in your prison, and you take care of him for the rest of his life? Because if he hadn't gotten in here illegally anyway and committed this crime, he wouldn't be here.
Right.
I keep saying, when I think Obama was president, I think the policy became that you can be supported by, you can bring a relative in another country into the United States if you support them. But the understanding is that if they commit a crime, you can be charged with that crime and you can be penalized as well. So if I bring my cousin from Poland, if there are any of them left over there, and he commits a crime, he kills a bunch of people, I could be tried and I could be sentenced, or I could be deported back to Poland. That's all I'm saying. We're giving these people everything that they need to live in America. Then when they get here, then we're supporting them while they live here in America. And hey, I start getting nervous the last week of the month that I'm going to get a letter from Social Security that says, I'm sorry, we're turning you off because we got to pay somebody who didn't have a job, who got here illegally, and whatever. I used to joke when the caravans were coming up from Honduras. I joked with people on Boogie with the Bull a lot, saying, why don't we just pack our bags and go to where they came from? We all work.
Because our name is not Miguel and Pedro.
I know, but I'm just saying that couldn't you imagine a bunch of entrepreneurs moving to Honduras, or saying we want to come to Honduras and open this factory and that factory and this store and that store, and obviously you're going to tax the hell out of us, and we're going to make your country profitable. All these people left. Why don't we just do that? And they're the people that want to have this place because they ruined it. It wasn't really a well thought out plan. I mean, I wouldn't pack my bags and leave just because the cartels and everybody else, the Democrats, have taken over the United States of America. But obviously they left to come here and destroy this country. So if we took the best of this country and went to their country and helped develop that country, they'd be left with the ghetto states of America.
What do you think is their weakest link? Like, what is their Achilles heel? What is the thing in reality, not going down and making our own cartel, but what is their Achilles heel? Is it the cartels, the drug cartels? Is it the sex trafficking? Is it the border wall that's not being built? What is it that we can go after really strong that would be effective?
Well, we spend all this time harping about it's so easy to hop, skip, and jump into the United States of America, but the most people understand that there's a really good tunnel system between us and Mexico, that they don't have to come up, they don't have to be on land and walk, swim that little, 12-foot long path of the river and jump up and be here in the United States. So when we seal up the border, I'm not even sure that the cartels and the other people that make money off of the borders not being there, they're not going to have a problem. They're still going to be in business. They're just going to figure out another way to get their people into this country or through this country. My biggest fear is, I'd like to see the wall should have been put up. Trump should have finished that damn wall for one reason and one reason only, because I don't believe that most of the children that you saw walking through the caravans with their mothers, or what looked like their mothers, were children coming here to the United States for a better life. I think a good amount of them were trafficked families being moved into the United States to do their time in the United States and then go up to Justine Land, and that this is just a stop on the human trafficking trade, for lack of
Do you see any?
for lack of putting it better.
Do you see any weak links? Any Achilles heels? Do you, Jerry?
The only Achilles heel that the government has is the actual truth. Well-worded truth. Researched truth. To hell with feelings. To hell with your opinion. Truth. That's the Achilles heel. If every one of us would stop watching Fox News, would stop watching CNN, would stop watching MSNBC, would stop buying newspapers and magazines and the rest of it, we would start hearing the truth. We would force these people to start telling the truth, start being investigative, start asking questions, and not stop asking questions until question everything. That is their Achilles heel. There are too many people in this country that just go along with it, and one day they wake up and they can't figure out what happened, and they're clueless because oh my God, I don't have a paycheck anymore. My company just fired me to hire 15 Mexicans. Okay. The truth. And to keep repeating it as we do.
Wow.
Over and over and over again. People are all like children. You have to keep pounding down the message. My message is personally the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the law for everyone. Period. Not just us, but those politicians we send to Washington. We need to make it easier to get them out of office. It is next to impossible to do that. Why? Because that's how they've made it. Okay. The truth. All right. People who are constantly reading the bills that they can and seeing where their representatives, who they sent to represent them, have voted. Okay. That's the only Achilles. They have everything else, including the power. They can crush every damn one of us, but they cannot crush the truth. If we allow them to keep going the way they're going, then eventually they will crush the truth. Because there'll be nobody left that remembers what really happened.
Wow.
That's my opinion.
That's good.
Very good.
I mean, think about, what we do don't seem like much. It really don't. There are many, many times that I was like, what the hell are we doing? Why bother? Worry about yourself. Worry about your other. The problem is it's going to take every last one of us in this country to stop with the ridiculousness. Stop listening to the morons in the street that want to do this and that and the other. Get together and say, we're not going to do this anymore. The answer is no. If they try with the COVID thing, we have a golden opportunity. Will people go to jail? Some.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something, they can't arrest all of us.
Nope.
All right. And, we need to make sacrifices for this truth. Okay. Because these kids are coming up now. They have no idea what freedom was at one time. They just know their own reality. Okay. They have not been taught in the schools what it was really like. They read out of a textbook, but they don't hear it from, like, some kid's grandfather who told them what actually happened.
Mhm.
Okay, we have people being arrested for all kinds of stuff in retaliation for this, and government retaliating against them. This is so damn wrong. And there are people out there saying, "Well, why are they causing problems?" They're not causing problems. They're trying to use their rights as an American citizen. You want to be dumb enough and not use your rights as an American citizen, you're welcome to do that. I have no problem with that. I guess that's your choice. But here's the deal. Uh, when you need them and they're gone, then what? That's why I always say it's so easy to be a communist in America, because you can run down to McDonald's, you can run down to here, there, anywhere you want to go, get your cell phone, a bullhorn, and go out in the street and block traffic of people trying to get to work and all this kind of thing, and then maybe you go to jail, maybe you don't. Maybe you get $4 million for burning down a city because the cops are mean to you. Maybe you get that. The truth is the number one thing. There is nothing more than the truth. I don't give a damn about anybody's opinion. I don't. If my opinion is wrong, it's wrong. It's not the truth. And we don't have enough truth in our society anymore.
Nope.
We have anarchy at this point. Everybody. But it's enough to where we're seeing it every single day. And it's caused by the politicians with their ridiculous policies. They're this, they're that, there are no bail laws, and all this garbage. We're actually legalizing in some places heroin and wondering why the overdose rate has gone up. Really? Are you really that stupid? You know exactly why it's done that.
Giving them
it.
needles and
Okay.
giving them
Truth
needles,
is
and I
very
think you
simple.
said the other day, Jen, giving them Narcan now.
I don't. Truth is very simple. Okay, it's the truth. It's what happened. It's how it's happened, and it's then you turn to how can we fix this in a common sense way so that we don't do this crap again. We don't have enough people doing it. We don't have people. We do our show on Rumble, and most of the people won't even comment. Okay, they won't even comment. It's sad. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time. I had people who wouldn't watch the show if I didn't send them a link. This is the simplest thing in the world. You come on, you go to the page, you find the show, you watch it, you comment, and they won't do it. How do we expect to take this country back if we can't do the simplest thing? And that's either open up our mouth through our mouth or open up our mouth online in it, typing it.
Yep.
Okay. It's that simple. Okay. Truth. It is everybody's Achilles heel. And every entity's Achilles heel. But we need more people. And I mean everybody. Left, right, center. We need them all. Because it's the only way this is going to stop.
All right. And Jerry will be signing the American Rebellion hats in the lobby after the broadcast. No, seriously.
No kidding. Everyone's standing and applauding.
Truth.
That was beautiful. Good job, Jerry.
It was. It really was, Jerry. It was truth. Truth is what it's all about. And, unfortunately, it gets harder and harder and harder and harder here on Facebook to try to post, talk about, comment on the truth. Their biggest game with me right now in a group is to tell me they took a post down because it violated the community standards. But it was so bad they can't show me the post.
That's funny.
And
it was something I probably posted. I know.
But it's you know, I don't understand. And they put a black mark in the group quality that this post was so bad that we took it down, but it was so bad that we can't tell you what it was.
So against those.
Because they took it down. And I keep hoping that one of these days I'm going to get called to testify when Ted Cruz is asking all the questions and Zuckerberg is there. Hey, they took this post down on this day and this time. They told you it was so bad we had to take it down. They told you it was so bad we couldn't even show you what we took down. We just took it down. Do you have any idea what it was? And the only thing I'm going to say, be able to look at him and go, well, Ted, the only thing I can tell you is it's the truth. And it was so bad that they had to take it down.
That's funny.
I mean, it's even worse asking a person with dementia who can't remember the last 15 posts he read in any group, and you tell me that you take it down. Plus, with me, they go back years. They go back years and find something.
Oh, that's funny.
They got mad at me for saying COVID-19 one day on a Boogie with the Bull 2 years ago. And I'm thinking to myself, if it was so bad when I said it 2 years ago, why didn't you take it down then?
Where was the SWAT team?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, when they knock on my door to tell me that they're moving me to Gitmo, I figure that, for lack of putting it better, I'm going to expire on my way to Gitmo. I'm never going to get to Gitmo. They're probably going to say to me, hey, we're going to pull over, we're going to let you open the door, start running, and don't look back.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
It is crazy. It really is. And everybody who watches this thing, Boogie with the Bull, you're always welcome to comment. Okay? You don't have to agree with anybody that's on the broadcast. You don't have to agree with me. Matter of fact, sometimes I hope you don't agree with me and you make a comment. And it's just, if you're thinking something, say something. Because nobody's going to get out. Like Jerry said, nothing's going to happen until we all mesh it together and say no. And I mean, I've got I think I have 190 different memes on it that say, I will not comply, in all different colors and all different things. But you know what? Comply with what? Because everybody I see post one, I will not comply with something. Tell me what. But anyway, truth. That is what this country was built on. And unfortunately, that will probably be what will tear this country down.
I love that mass non-compliance. That is our best weapon right now, along with the truth, telling the truth and being mass non-compliant. Because he's working on that Bill Gates glasses guy. He's working on another shot. It's insane. And that's going to be a really big thing. And we just have to say no. No.
I think they've even gone beyond that. And it's in everything you drink. It's in everything that you eat. You probably can't go to the grocery store and buy something that doesn't have it in it.
Vaccine stuff?
Yeah.
Poison? Oh.
Yeah. Because we have this thing called the Food and Drug Administration. They're not going to tell us what's in it. It used to be Ralph Nader, I think he was, when he was the consumer advocate. I think for Nixon, he used to say, if you can't pronounce the ingredients on the label, don't eat it. If you don't know what it is and what it does, don't buy it, don't eat it. And I'm sure
Yeah,
that
and here's
if
the
you
problem, Dave.
go
Here's
ahead,
the
Jerry.
problem, though. I mean, read any label. Go and try, down the health food aisle, and you can't read half the stuff that's on the stuff there.
Yeah.
You would literally starve to death if you actually did that. That's the problem. It did. Now, back when Ralph Nader was saying that, it was him.
Mhm.
He was a public advocate for truth in advertising and truth in ingredient, truth in everything. Okay, and there's still, that was back, like, TV dinners came out in the 50s, and if you ate one, like, even in the 60s, when we used to eat them, they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And they were flash frozen. They didn't have all kinds of preservatives in them and all. And like, my favorite was always the Salisbury steak. I love Salisbury steak, and I had one back in my late 40s, I guess. I decided I was going to have one, and I used to like to take them, put them on bread, and eat it as a sandwich. You and get rid of the gravy because that would ruin the sandwich. I had one bite and threw it in the garbage. It tasted that bad. So nothing. That's why I keep telling it. It just bothers me that nothing tastes the same as when I was a kid, or even 20 years ago. Okay, and there's a reason for that. Now, look at all the people that are allergic to stuff that they're actually putting in every food. You know, um,
And they don't have
it's
to tell you
horrible.
what it
It
is. They
really
call it
is. There's poison in
bioengineered,
the air. There's poison in the water.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. The chemtrails. The chemtrails into the clouds, into the rainwater, into God love you if you can capture as much rain, 500 gallons of rainwater. If you can collect it and you can drink it, you should be doing it. But the honest to God's truth is, if you live in a place where they're spraying the sky still
You don't want to drink it.
and you're drinking the rain,
That's right.
you know,
Not to mention,
we,
in a lot of states like Florida, they've made it illegal
yeah,
to capture rainwater off your roof or wherever. Okay, they've made it illegal. A lot of states, it is illegal to do that. Um, my question is why? Okay, why is it illegal to collect something coming from the sky? You don't own it. Uh, Somebody explain that to me. And no one to my satisfaction ever has.
but it should be the
Um,
same that if
and
the spring underground spring is on your piece of property, you should be able to bring that up without getting taxed on it or use it.
well, you probably could, but they own under your house. They own underground.
Yeah, I know. They own under your house,
Okay,
they
it's
own
called
above your
mineral
house,
rights.
and they own right,
Mineral.
and they
Yeah,
own on both.
it's called
They own
mineral
on both
rights.
sides.
So
Right.
if you have a actual spring under your property and you try drilling into it, they can actually shut you down and fine you for stealing the
Yeah.
government's shit.
Yep.
See, I believe when you buy a piece of property, the ground for 10 miles down underneath it belongs to you and up to the sky.
Yep.
And I'll let the government go through. I'll let the airlines go through, as long as they're not doing anything stupid like spraying poison on all of us to,
Yep.
I don't know, get it to rain or some crazy crap. Okay, and whatever else. I
Yep.
think our food should be without crop dusters. I think our food should be without insecticides. I
Yep.
watched a guy just today. It was like a cooking thing, and he was making something with strawberries. And he said, clean your strawberries with water and baking soda. And I'm like, baking soda? I've never heard that before. It gets the pesticides off. Well, when he was done cleaning them, the water was black. Okay,
Wow.
the water was black.
Wow.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I don't know.
Yep. It's, I remember one of the first Boogie with the Blowouts was Jerry and me and Jonathan Garcia. And the issue that set both of us off was property taxes.
Or
You
flat
buy,
tax. Oh my God,
well,
that was so bad.
flat tax was just, I got mad just because at the time he wasn't explaining flat tax the way I thought a flat tax was. But property tax to me, and Jerry has said this a million times on his show, you buy a house, you pay sales tax, they want some property tax, figured it into it, and that's it. Not you pay property tax for the next 100 years, and each
Over and over.
and right, and each person who gets your piece of property in the will or the real estate trust, then they do. No, it should be you buy that piece of property, and you buy that piece of property, it's yours. Not. But I'm sure if you stop paying property tax, they'll tax something else. I'm waiting for Facebook to tax me for doing broadcasts. I'm waiting for Facebook to tax me per post in each one of the a million groups we have.
That's funny.
When Brian says, I'm highlighted so I can read it. We have to fund those underperforming schools, David. Well, Jen can tell you how we can fund those underperforming schools. We close them and homeschool everybody.
Yeah.
But,
Seriously. Even if you can even if you keep your kids home all day and watch movies, make dinner, and then start school, online, now that you're with them, not online with a government school. But there are so many good programs out there that you do not need the public school system. It is so subpar, so below. It's terrible. They're trying to level the playing field with everybody. It's ridiculous. And a lot of people are like, well, little miss homeschooler, I can't homeschool. I have to work, blah, blah, blah. Well, I have to do a lot of stuff too. I didn't have to go to work, thank God. I probably should have. But we didn't get to do a lot of things because we're not going to draw from the family budget to go to McDonald's. So I had my kids doing eBay with me from the time they were 1 and 2, and we called it Play-Doh money. So we would we'd buy something at the Goodwill, we'd shine it up. We didn't know it was an urn. It was a coffee urn. I go, it's some kind of coffee pot. So we shined it up. It was called a coffee urn, and we spent $20 on it. But it was silver. It was real silver. So when we cleaned it up and sold it, we got $200 for it. So that was like the bomb. That was the bomb of our eBay experience. After that, we've never really experienced anything that nice. But we've always done something to help contribute to the family dollar. But it is difficult. It's not easy, like dropping them off to be babysat and taught at the same time all day. And
indoctrinated.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite Bill Muckler word. The Department of Indoctrination.
He's so wise. You're right.
Yep.
So right.
Yep.
It used to be with the schools, they took the lowest kid and tried to bring him up to where the rest of the class was.
Yes.
Even if the schools were bad, that was how they were designed, to bring the lowest up. Instead of now, what they're doing is they're not, they're just changing all the rules everywhere for everything to make the weakest be able to be the same as the strongest. The military does the same thing. Women in general cannot be in the Navy SEALs. There are guys who cannot be in the Navy SEALs or the Green Berets or Force Recon or any of these things. because they are just not able to do it for whatever reason. But when you lower the standards, I mean, I watched a woman with the Rangers, the Army Rangers, and they lowered the standards for her. And they showed this whole thing where she did all the exercises and so on and so forth. But the guys all did them faster, and by the time she was done, she was almost collapsed. And they were cheering her on. And I'm looking at these guys like this is the same one who's got to carry you out of a combat situation, who's not as trained as you, who is not as in good a shape as you, who is not as strong as you, and may have to carry you out of something that she can't do. And you will
That's a good
die
point.
because of it. Okay, and it's the same thing with the schools. They bring the highest down to the lowest. Over the years, they have changed the grading system to make it easier. They've changed everything, and we have people that are actually in college that are the college now. They're telling us that most kids who go to college have to take a bunch of high school classes just to be up to par to be in college. While they're, that is sad. They used to, the smartest, they'd have the pre-college courses in high school, and they'd all be in there, and we'd make fun of them because they were they were goofy and shit. And of course, we were stupid, but nevertheless, and now they're taking them when they go to college. This is wrong. And then you look at Japan, where they go to school 24/7, 365. If they get one question wrong on a test, dad's beating them in the head with something, okay, because that's not acceptable. They drive these children to better themselves. Okay, we don't have that here. The minute the kid don't understand it, no, he's got too much homework. I told my father one time I had too much homework. He laughed his ass off. He says, "You're getting all C's. Apparently, you're doing fine." Okay, I mean, it's not like this is too much. You're just too lazy. So shut up. That arguments, back in the day, I'm telling you, it was 11th grade or 12th grade or something before my father believed it was the teacher and not me. Because the minute the teacher said something, she was immediately, and I mean immediately, correct. And no matter how bad she may have been or what she did, she was correct and I was wrong. And I would catch a beating, or I would catch grounding, or, a yelling at, depending on what the problem was. Okay. And that was as simple as it got. My father did not play the game where he was on the teacher's side, period. End of discussion. So,
But then again, there's the story that Nicky Young tells about the math teacher that his daughter had the problem with, and he, I guess, met with the teacher and showed her.
He schooled her. That was awesome.
He schooled the teacher. Yeah, he taught this teacher that she was teaching math the wrong way.
That the quality of teachers has gone down to shitter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's as simple as that gets. Okay, the quality of teachers has gone down the tubes completely. Now, I'm not saying that all teachers are bad, but I am saying there's a lot of them.
Right.
All right, and I talked to a teacher when I was having something done on my truck, and it was at the mechanics, and she taught in the local high school, and she said between the kids who have we can't discipline, they can say whatever they want to us, they can do pretty much whatever they want, and the curriculum, which is horrible. Okay, she quit. She retired because she couldn't do it anymore. And I was somebody who loved teaching. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being around the kids. I enjoyed doing this, blah, blah, blah. But lack of discipline in the schools and the homes has made the kids out of control in a lot of cases. Also, the curriculum, we all know about that, is horrible.
Right. I almost fell over laughing the other day. Donna came home from subbing one day and said, I think a first grader called her a butthead. literally just looked at her and said, "You're a butthead." And
Oh
you
my.
know,
There's no respect.
But
They probably say
Dave,
that to their
Dave,
mother.
yeah, that's not funny. That's
no,
not
well,
funny.
no, it's
That
not
kid
funny,
should have been sent to the principal's office. That
right?
kid's parents should have been called. Okay, all that. That's not funny
No,
because
it's
I
not.
got to tell you, that's a little
It
kid.
really isn't.
When they get to high school and they
Yeah.
start beating the crap out of the teacher, nobody's laughing anymore.
Yeah, no,
You
you're
know,
right.
nobody's laughing anymore.
You're right.
You know, I mean, if my wife is going to a school and she is teaching a class and some kid lays hands on her in any way, shape, or form,
No, oh no,
I'm at that school doing jihad.
she,
I'm doing
yeah,
that.
she
I'm doing
won't.
jihad because nobody's
Yeah,
going to
no,
touch, my wife who is trying to do her job. And because you can't discipline your
right.
kid and the school refuses to do it, all right,
No, she's
that's
yeah,
not going to end up on my lap.
yeah,
That kid's going to pay the price on that.
right, right, right. No, I've watched her in the classroom before. She's more than capable of handling herself and problem students.
My
I respect.
daughter was a teacher for about 6 years, or not 6 years, 6 months.
Yeah,
She worked in preschool. The kids would punch her. The kids would kick her. The kids would do, she would come home with literally bruises on her, and nobody would do anything about it. The mother wouldn't do anything about it when they came to pick the kid up. The school wouldn't do anything about it. She didn't stay. She didn't stay a teacher long, and we did try to tell her that this was a bad plan, but she really wasn't listening to too much back then. But
It's a bad time in history
it is.
to want respect. It's
Yep.
so sad.
Yep. Yep. And I don't understand why people don't see where we are and don't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is other than you can believe the polls. That I read a poll yesterday that it was 75. If the election was yesterday between Republicans and Democrats, 75% would vote Trump. 25, I think it was just under 25% technically would vote for Biden. I can't understand how anybody would vote for.
With this economy, you really think, oh my
Biden.
gosh, I can't imagine it.
But then this morning I was talking to somebody and I said, and I didn't even stop myself, I just went ahead and said it. Donald Trump gets elected tomorrow. His first day is next Monday. Unfortunately, he gets elected to a Democrat super Congress. They got both the House and the Senate. And let's make it even worse. Biden got to appoint a couple to the Supreme Court, so now it's tilted in the favor of the Democrats. Are they going to start the impeachment all over again? Or are they just going to, they're not going to just sit back and let the man do what he needed to do and then hope in the 2026 midterms and the 2028 presidential election that, they'll get a Democrat put back in. But, is that what I want him back, but is that what we're opening ourselves up to? Another 4 years of daily impeachment proceedings?
listen, everybody keeps saying if it's a Democratic super thing, and listen to me, I don't give a shit who's in charge. Is it going to happen? If the Republicans in charge, chances are there won't be impeachments, but there will be 50 lawsuits for every goddamn thing he tries to do to slow him down and not allow it until the Supreme Court says he has every right to do it, and then it'll go through. He will spend 4 years fighting everybody. It includes Republicans because the Republicans are in on it. Anybody believes they're not is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. The Republicans are in on it. Now, are every one of them in on it? No. But the power brokers in the Republican Party are in on it. That guy who tried to bribe Carrie Lake, he didn't like Trump. He said it on tape. Okay? And he's the Republican head of, or was, thankfully, of Arizona. Okay? So, yeah, no. It doesn't matter who's in the House, who's in the Senate. Yes, there's going to be lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. The corrupt judges will put stays on everything he tries to do. Everything will be dragged out, blah, blah, blah. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, if Trump has spent his time wisely the last 4 years, he's had an army of private investigators investigating these lowlifes with dossiers on every one of them, would find video products and picture products and everything else. And then they try to give him problems. Maybe he just sends them a folder full of pictures and, reports, resign by tomorrow, or this is coming out and you will be resigning anyway.
Wow.
Okay. I have news for you. If you want to play dirty, that's how you do it, because it would not be difficult. These people, as Jen and they think they're royalty and no one can touch them. So they are sloppy. I'll guarantee you a good private investigator could have dirty, naked pictures of every damn one of them within a year and, see where the chips fall.
I wonder if he's got any photo proof of all the people on the Epstein list, the Epstein Island list. Not that, and I wouldn't doubt that maybe
he knew before we did.
I wouldn't doubt that he has proof. The question is, would he play the Epstein card on someone if he had to?
I think
if he doesn't, I would be pissed at him.
Right.
I would be pissed at him if he didn't. Every single person on that list does not need to be in government. That is in government, in other words.
Or Hollywood,
and if he didn't use that to our advantage, if he didn't use that to our advantage by getting rid of these lowlifes, I'd be pissed.
Well, but by the same token, I'm sure Hillary Clinton dropped a wad of cash to buy up all the same proof that he may have, to use that to hold over her
hit list.
Hillary Clinton is becoming irrelevant. Hillary Clinton has one big problem. And that's her husband, who is also on that list with like 79 trips or some crap or another. I don't even know, but
on the same day.
Screw Hillary Clinton. Okay, anybody who believes anything that comes out of that woman's mouth is long beyond anything we can do for them. Yeah. We need to stop worrying about why people don't realize this and people don't realize that, and realize that we are the people that are going to get this going. We are the people who are going to try to tell everybody else what's going on, and we are the people who know what's going on. Now, I don't care about the damn conspiracy theories, because all I need to see is what's going on right in front of me. Not saying they're not true, just saying, all right, they're all corrupt. They all need to go. And I don't give a damn what their name is, even if it is Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you know something? Dave's right. She ain't done a damn thing for anybody.
Other than
make fun of other and argue with people.
When she came on the scene, she was the Republican we all thought was going to get in there and do something. And this video I watched the other day was Ilhan Omar this, Ilhan Omar that. And it was, it's all true, but it's not going to happen.
As an individual, listen to me. No matter who we put in as an individual congressman, I have mine, you have yours, Jen has hers. Okay, they can't do anything unless the Republican Party wants to do it. So the power brokers, they have an agenda in the Republican Party, as they do in the Democratic Party. Okay. And because of that, if what you want to do is America first, you can bet they may throw something in there to make them all seem America first. But in the end, everybody's getting paid, blah, blah, blah. And if you are the one that just got elected, and I don't care what you told your constituents you were going to do, you're only
You're
going to
not
do
doing
what
it.
the Republican Party tells you is okay to do. You can bitch and moan and maybe embarrass them into doing something, but that don't work all the time. Marjorie Taylor Greene so far has made it a goddamn career of making fun of the leadership. Yet she voted for Kevin McCarthy the one time she had the chance to. Okay, and guess what? He lied to her. Big surprise. All right, it's time for us to quit worrying about why. I don't understand why. I do it too. I mean, I don't understand why people don't understand this, but you know what? It's time for us to stop that, because most of the people who truly, deep down in their heart, don't understand what's actually going on. I'm not talking about your actual regular liberal or anything. I'm talking about the idiots in the street that want communism and all this shit. Even the real liberals know Joe Biden's a piece of garbage, okay, and useless as a president. All right. But the ones, sorry, don't. Just keep talking about what is correct. Talk about morals and family values and family staying together and, all that kind of crap. Because in the end, that's what built America. It wasn't, no father in the home that built America. If that was the case, America would never have been built. Okay. And I'm not talking about the blacks or anybody. I'm talking about everybody. I know plenty of white girls, pregnant, children. Okay. You see them all the time. No father anywhere. Okay. It is time for us to just keep bringing up the facts, the truth, and all this other crap, and let people decide for themselves. And hopefully they decide correctly, and we can turn this country around. The ones that are not going to do that are never going to do that. They're miserable individuals. Look at how they look at how they act, look at how they're out there screaming in the streets. 275-pound women saying men will never touch this body. We're all thankful. Okay, look at that. They will never be happy. They will
And they
never
are the
be
ones
happy. I
fighting
have I
for.
want pursuit of happiness. God damn it. I want peace of mind in my freaking head that I ain't been able to
Amen.
get my whole
That's
damn
it.
life.
Yep.
I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm tired of saying the same crap over and over and over again, but you know what? It needs to be done. I can't go
Jerry,
out
do
there
me,
and run
Jerry,
fucking stupid rallies.
Jerry.
I can't do any of that crap. It is time for me to just sit here behind this stupid screen and just keep saying what I believe to be true.
Okay. I want you to read the screen. Is that Matt, Jerry?
Holy
Oh,
shit.
that's your friend?
Yeah, hey, how you doing,
that-
Matt? Good to see you.
Hey, Matt, I'm glad
Good to
you
see you. That's Matt.
I'm glad you're
Matt,
watching.
you're famous. We don't know you, but we love you. Come
You
back.
are famous, Matt, and all I'm going to say is that
Told him.
the American Rebellion wants you back. I want you back when I'm on the American Rebellion, because you always made it great. But anyway.
Hey, Dave.
Okay.
Don't push him. All right? Don't do that. He's not that kind of guy. You keep pushing him, and he ain't gonna do it. Just let him make his decision in his time, and he'll be fine. The man is a good man.
He's
whatever's going on in his life. He says his schedule changed. I have no idea. He didn't tell me, but whatever. Just don't push him.
Okay. I just wanted you to see that, which is why I put it up on the screen.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I do.
Yeah.
I like Matt. I always have from day one.
Yeah.
I miss him a lot. I do. Every time we do a show, I think about him. But he's got his reasons. Whatever they
Yeah.
are,
Okay.
they're his. And he was around me long enough for me to realize that I got to respect that. So that's the way it
Yeah.
is. And I
Yeah.
try
Okay.
very hard to let everybody do what they want because that's their,
Right.
I don't know,
As
that's their
long
right, really, to do what they want
it
to
is
do
your right.
for whatever reason. Most
It
people
is
look at
your
my
right.
life and pretty much think I should never be giving anybody advice, and they may not be actually wrong. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
it is what
I
it
just
is.
do Boogie with the Bull so Jen can come give everybody the right advice.
Fun. The
There you go.
Constitution, that's all I know.
The
Well, if
Constitution
you
is
look
all
at
she
Jen,
knows.
like Jen with the homeschooling and stuff, I mean, we look at how her kids turned out. We could tell just by watching in the background. There's nobody fighting ever. They work together in the kitchen, and I see people smiling back there like they're actually happy to be around each other. And they seem, because of that, to my observation only, to be well rounded in that area and able, with people in general and their family, which is in many cases a lot better than what you get out of the public school.
Yeah.
Uh, you get a lot of sullen youths in out of the public school. I've noticed.
You do.
They'll tell their mother to screw off, or And Jesse does not look like a man who would play too many of those games to me. He looks like he could possibly backhand a few people if they did that kind of thing. And although they love him, they also respect that. They probably used to be afraid if he yelled because he's a big guy and he's probably loud. But now they respect him and they probably understand a lot better why he did what he did, just like they understand what Jen did. See, but this is homeschooling. All right, she spent a great deal of time teaching her kids not just math and all that silly shit, but about life in general and how to give and how to receive and how to when people take advantage of you, maybe I don't know, leave, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And that is so important that they're not teaching in schools at all. They're not teaching that
Nope.
in public schools anyway. Okay, they used to
Nope.
teach you life skills in public schools. Believe me, they used to. A lot of different ones. It was really weird. Okay, but not anymore. Not anymore. And you get more of a way more personal touch. Plus, you don't have 40 kids in your house. Jen just has 20. It looks like based on the kids she's got. Okay, and
There were 5.
you know,
They grow up.
I don't know
Why do we
more
feed
what Jen
them?
like. You're able to have more personal interactions with 4 kids or
Yep.
5
Right.
or whatever at a time. You got a 40-person classroom. You probably don't remember the kid in the last row's name by the time school's over.
It's
No.
tough.
Or your own name. Okay, Delilah. I still know your name.
That's so
All
cute.
right, folks. Let's
That's
see.
it.
We're coming up on 9 o'clock, so we'll start winding this one down. Anyone want to tell America what the answer is? I know the dogs in Studio B are trying to record the answer tonight. But
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching, and I wanted to say, know your Constitution, know your Bill of Rights. There's only 10, and if you see something, say something. So you're not the only one that's harboring something felonious happening, like all these invaders. You need to call your congressman and tell them, or even the senator, and tell them, close the border. That would be the biggest thing. If we could all just say, close the border. I mean, what are they going to do? Get 50 different states, 10 people from each state? That would be what, 500 people saying close the border? They would have to address the issue. Well, he did. We still haven't seen it yet. He wants to put up Jersey walls, which are some kind of stanchion they can put up. it's nothing permanent, so it doesn't go into the ground. It just kind of stands up. It sounds like a room separator. Like if you're going to have a party on one side of the restaurant, they put up these stanchions. That's what it sounds like. But they're called Jersey walls, things that are probably really easy for the cartel to just roll over. But it's a start. And I do know one good thing, next month, because of elections, I think he's going to reinstate the stay in Mexico bill. So it's going to really cut down on a lot of the immigration. That's not the migration, whatever they're calling it, the invaders.
You
It's
mean
supposed to stop.
get to Mexico
So.
and apply for asylum or that BS before you get to the country, and not just hop, skip, jump, and swim over the border in the middle of the night.
I hope so. Right.
Well,
okay.
what
Well,
I
my
hear,
dog's in
that
studio
is
B.
supposed to be
Go ahead, Jerry.
usually what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to come to Mexico and beg Mexico to take them in. Okay, not the United States. Not go through Mexico on a damn train, sitting on the smokestack as they're going along and coming to America. They're supposed to stay there. I heard this from, I think it was Nick the other night or Jen, and I heard it again on the news last night. So I don't know. Anyway, Dave, I appreciate you letting me on, and we will.
You're always welcome.
Okay, Matt. I'll talk to you later. That's fine.
Okay.
I got schedule issues. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
What's more important, your life or me, Matt? I mean, come on. Damn. You should probably figure that out by now. Anyway, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night, Jen and Dave on the American Rebellion show. So take care, guys.
All right, Jerry.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
All right, Jerry's gone. The American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. until they end. It used to be 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., but it's 7 p.m. until whenever they end.
We are so excited. So much to talk about.
So much to talk about. And you catch Jen, the homeschooling mom, wherever she's around. You see her in the groups on Facebook. You see her everywhere. So if you are considering homeschooling and you want to talk to someone who is active in it, Jen raised her 5 kids through it. She is involved with, there is a National Association of Homeschoolers, and from what I understand, the Department of Education actually does listen to them. So if you're thinking about homeschooling, talk to Jen. She can help you track down what resources may be available in your state. In some states, I can't tell you which, because I actually haven't looked it up. But if you live in a city and you are paying school board, school taxes, and you're homeschooling your children, I believe you are able to get that money back from the school board to use in your homeschooling. It's not I can't tell you how it all works. I think Stephen Tolliver talked about it a few times. If you're an educator and you're familiar with the plan and you hear this, come on and we'll talk about it. Anyway, I want to thank, let's see, everybody in the live chat. Alan McMillan, always a pleasure. Beth McCord, who is a well-accomplished admin on Facebook with a lot of groups. The only one that comes to mind right now is Global Army. That's the last one I joined. Actually, yeah, Global Army and several others. But you've seen her, good conservative patriot, very active with the conservative biker crowd in Pennsylvania and other states. A great person. If you see her and you're in her groups, say hello. But we invited her to join Tuesdays, and hopefully next Tuesday we'll have her on. And let's see who else. Matt, it was great to know that you were watching, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And Brian Stokes, always a pleasure to see you here, Brian. And let's go up. I know Larry Burns was here, which means we were truly international in the sense that we were on Facebook in Canada, as well as Facebook in China, Facebook in Tel Aviv, Israel, and I used to have it memorized, all the different Facebooks around the world that Boogie with the Bull is, in fact. Jimmy Collins, a pleasure to see you. Jolene Kirkland Foster, nice to see you. Randy Rhodes, you were invited to be here. You could have been on the broadcast. I sent you a link, and you could have been here. And let's see, Eric Leon Barton, my partner from Americans for Free Speech. Yeah, Eric, you should come on one night, but I know it's California time and Florida time. But you're more than welcome to come on anytime. And let's see, Neil Grondin, you're new. Pleasure to have you watching. And Robin. I can't remember Robin's last name. Robin, I'm sorry. Robin Brunson, there it is. Robin Brunson, who recommends, if you are looking for the best coffee on the planet, go to the Fat Cup Coffee Company Facebook page and take a look around. Then go to fatcupcoffeecompany.com and order it. I believe they will ship you whole bean. They will grind it for you if you don't have a grinder. And I believe they do, in fact, have some K-Cups available. So look up Fat Cup Coffee Company. And thanks, Robin. Jimmy Collins, you were here. Anyway, everybody was here. I'm glad that you were here. Remember, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the American Rebellion over on Rumble on the American Rebellion channel. And live well and prosper. This is the time of the broadcast where I say you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And if you want to be on the broadcast, all you got to do is let them know. So we'll come up here. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. And we'll come down and hit this one. It's going to